Hey everybody, it's Yuki once again, giving you guys a preview for the schedule rotation you guys can vote on, and a preview of this week and upcoming content for this channel and other channels that I have on the board. First, let's talk about the community tab because I am adding a new podcast. So I have one podcast called the Yuki Gaming News. Now we're gonna add another one called Yuki Storytime. Yuki Storytime is actually based on my life outside of gaming and YouTube. So I'm gonna be talking about my traveling, about my grandmother, especially this coming week, my grandmother, and we'll be talking about like the Philippines, my experiences in the Philippines, for example. I have plenty of stories for that one, but this coming week we're going to be more focused on the family, and particularly my grandmother. I'll explain why in a moment. So our launch episode is going to be a canceled vacation gave birth to Yuki creation. Then it actually becomes the actual more stories here. So if you do not if you guys forgot what happened last year, let me remind you that I had to cancel a stream on October 15, 2021 because unfortunately my grandmother passed away that day, and just happened to be on a Saturday, and that was when I was in swimming class. I only learned of it after the fact, and it was shocking, as always. And she meant a lot to me. So I'm gonna be celebrating my grandmother this coming week with this podcast week dedicated to her, except for the first episode, because I need to start the first episode with a with like something to look forward to. So episode 2, 3, 4, 5 is going to be dedicated to my grandmother this week. Going to Mexico, we went to Mexico, Cancun to be exact, with my grandmother a few years ago. Then a few years ago from that, my grandmother got her first bingo during our bingo night on New Year's Eve. Then I'm gonna be talking about birthdays with grandma. I'm referring to like me celebrating her birthday and her celebrating my birthday. Remember, we're both in October. And then on Sunday, October 15, 2023, the other episode is coming up, and that is my grandmother's passing a year later. I'm gonna be talking about how what has been a year without my grandmother for the first time. How's the family doing, and all that good stuff. Because things have changed a lot ever since. 1 year doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. So, so that's coming up this coming week. So get ready for this particular week of the Yuki story time. It sounds weird to do this on the first week of the podcast, but I think you're going to understand how what family means to me outside of gaming and content creation. So that's coming up. Um, Also coming up is the Call of Duty 3 Modern Warfare 3 beta weekend, and we're going to be playing the beta on October 14 and 15 of 2023. We are going to play the beta only if we are not buying the game, maybe until there's a sale. I am very interested in the zombies though. That's what's getting me. So 14 and 15 we're playing the beta to take a look at it, and then I'm gonna have a review video on the 16th on Yuki Plays. And that's gonna change the special schedule too, because that's also on a Sunday, and I'll explain why in a moment. Then speaking of streams, we're going to be moving the gaming streams to Yuki Plays YT. Okay, so that is what one thing. Mario Yuki is still gonna be around on the Mario days, so don't worry. But the reason why I'm moving it is because of the algorithm and all that jazz. Okay. Then I told you guys if you guys want to check out voting, you can vote for should I return to COD rank. And this is another thing that I'm going to discuss in a moment about the rotation. Should I return to COD ranked? And I'm talking about COD ranked here, not COD casual. The one where I went 2-8 to start season 5 and I never played it. After that, I went 2-8 and I'm like, oh no, this is gonna be a very sweaty season. And I was right. Everybody's trying to be a sweat lord. Basically, that's the key word here. But you guys said yes, 71% to 29%, and I'm going to explain how this is going to work in a moment. Speaking of that moment, here we go. So here is what you guys are going to be voting for tonight. After this video, I'm going to be posting a poll about this. You guys have the option to vote on a rotation. That means this becomes the schedule for the rest of the month. Of course, with the exception of specials like the birthday streams, that's going to be a special night. So, for example, so here's your first option. The first option also pending that there's still church volunteering on Fridays. So I might change this to Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays from Mario. But out so the first option is this. We can have our Mario nights on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 5:30. Ignore Friday because of church volunteering. If there is no church volunteering, we are doing a Friday for Mario. It just so happens that we are not doing a church volunteering, so we are doing Friday. And then if you guys want, I can add a Saturday, assuming that I'm not doing anything else on a Saturday too. Okay, so that's going to be your Mario days: Mario Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 5:30 live on Yuki Plays and excuse me, Yuki Productions and Mariyuki. Nighttime rotations on Wednesdays and Fridays. This means any multiplayer games that you guys want to play, COD, Fortnite, Rocket League. That will be on Yuki Plays on Kick and YouTube, and it will be at 9:30 on those days. If, however, but because there's 3 games, there's a contingency. So if the game is Call of Duty, we'll be playing half of it for Resurgence and half multiplayer in the same stream. I'm just gonna change the layout. If the game is Rocket League, then I'm gonna put the layout for Rocket League, and we're going to be doing the ranked play. If the game is Fortnite, if the game is Battle Royale Fortnite, that is, I'm gonna have the layout for that too. But if we're not gonna be doing the BR, we're just gonna do the custom games. VR chat live is still Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30 on the Kick and the YouTube. And then our special for the month of October is Spooky Yuki. And that starts tonight at 5:30 with closing shift. Option 2. The first one is the same. The only reason why I put like the thing on option 1 is because I forgot to change it to Saturday. So it's Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. So the first one, the Mario game, is going to be Monday, Wednesday, Saturday at 5:30 on Mariyuki and the main channel. Then I changed it to Friday night singles at 9:30 on Fridays, and this is where our single player games are. So anything like let's say Saints Row 2. I could play that again. Friday night. We're just gonna have a chill night basically. With a single player story game, if you will. Okay, that would be on Yuki Plays on both YouTube and Kick. VR chat and Spooky Yuki stay the same on the main channel. So we're not gonna discuss that. However, option 3 is where it gets really interesting. Here's where it gets interesting. The first one is saying the same with the Mario game. By the way, you may have noticed that every time I say Mario game, it shows Galaxy of Origins. That's because it's our current ROM hack for our Mario Yuki Season 1. Keep in mind that if I change the game, it's because we have our season for the ROM hack. So whatever ROM hack we are playing, that's the Mario game of the day. That's what you have to notice. Okay. Here's where the change comes into play now. It's Tuesday and Friday. So as you can see, Sweaty Tuesdays is at 5:30. Sweaty Fridays is at 9:30. What does this entail? Because 71% of you wanted me to return to COD multiplayer, this is where it comes down to. It's going to be COD Resurgence and COD multiplayer. Now, on Tuesdays, it could be Resurgence. On Fridays, it could be um, multiplayer. Or on both days, it could be half, half, and half. So basically, it's COD night, basically. That means for VR chat, we're no longer doing it on Tuesdays if you vote for option 3. We're just doing it on Thursdays with the contingency that we will return to VR Chat Live on Tuesdays in the winter 2023 season, which is in December. And I think it makes sense. Nobody comes on Tuesdays because everybody's working and doing stuff. So I think that's the best bet. Spooky Yuki is still on the main channel for option 3. Option 4 is the exact same thing as option 3 with one exception. As you can see on the bottom, Spooky Yuki is now on the Yuki Plays channel rather than the main channel. That means if you go with option 4, the split, if I count this correctly, is going to be 4 to 3. So 4 on the main channel on YouTube and 3 on the Yuki Plays channel on YouTube. Okay? Because Sunday is 1, Sweaty Tuesdays and Fridays count as their own thing, so that's 3. And then we have the Mario on the channel. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the VR chat. So that's 4 to 3 because 4 on productions and 3 on the Yuki Play. So 4 to 3. So that's the split. So the only difference between 3 and 4 is how many streams are on the main channel versus the Yuki Plays channel. It's going to be, if it's option 3, it's going to be 2, 4 to 2. I believe 1, 2, 3, 5 to 2. But if you go option 4, it's 4 to 3. Okay, so that's what's coming up. So let me know what you guys think. I'll be putting the poll, so make sure you guys do that. By the time you watch this video, the poll is already up. Now for this week, Spooky Yuki night tonight at 5:30. It says 5:15, but I meant to say 5:30. Galaxy of Origins for Mario is tomorrow night, and then the COD beta all weekend next week, except Friday because it actually starts Saturday for open beta. You may have noticed that I don't schedule the other streams in advance right now. That's because 8 VR chat keeps changing because I might be updating the world for you guys and all that good stuff. And I'm trying to figure out what good worlds are out there to look at for Halloween, especially because it's Halloween. It's spooky month, so you have to expect like the Halloween theme. Keep in mind that right now, as it stands, there is going to be 2 streams on my actual birthday, and there is going to be one before. So there is going to be a pre-birthday stream on the 24th of October. That is a Tuesday. Then the birthday stream itself is on a Wednesday. Now keep in mind, I told you guys that 1,500 subscribers by October 25th, and we're going to extend the stream by an hour. Okay, so keep that in mind, and that is the late night stream in particular. So we could be playing anything on part 1. It could be VR chat, it could be COD, it could be anything. For sure, at night we are playing COD. I will tell you now. We're playing the Resurgence, but we're playing Modern Warfare 2 and not Modern Warfare 3. Okay, at least for now. We'll see what we'll be doing, but for sure we are doing something on my birthday, and we're doing something the day before. And actually, the day before, 9:30, we're gonna start at 9:30 for the pre-birthday at on the 24th. Okay, so keep that in mind. Right? So that's all I want to talk about right now. But I do want to give you a preview of something. I do want to give you guys a little sneak peek at something for the VR chat world. Ladies and gentlemen, here is what's coming up in the preview for the VR chat PvP world. As you can see, I am testing out some stuff here in this building. This is a new customized building that is going to be putting up. I am still thinking of what I want to put here, but I will tell you one of the things that I'm thinking of doing is a moving target practice area. So for the next build, there is going to be a blue box. What blue box, you ask? This blue box is going to be copied and pasted here. So what is this blue box for? This blue box is a safe zone. So normally, if you outside of the blue box and you get hit, you're out. You go back to spawn because what that is the PvP. If you're inside the blue box, then you do, so if you get hit in the blue box, you don't go back to spawn. It doesn't hurt you. So for the build, I am thinking of this as a test area for stuff. Now you may have noticed I have started to think about customized buildings, as you can tell. And here's why. The reason why these low poly are here is because it gives me an idea of how to build the world correctly. Like it's a prototype section. Now, normally you're not supposed to do low poly stuff. I mean, not like normally what what my idea is to learn how to use different assets to make it nicer. And that's why I've been learning how to put these customized buildings, albeit from another asset pack. But the difference is that this one is more of a real thing that you would see in a city rather than this low poly thing. This is more of a bench placeholder than anything. So there will be more customized buildings in future builds. That does not excuse the fact, however, that it is still going to be a one-shot sniper map. So don't just just because I'm going to be putting a blue box here on this building doesn't mean I'm going to keep it safe for the next future builds. The only reason why I'm putting that here right now is to test out what I'm going to test out, whatever is in here. But what the idea is eventually is this is going to be a customized building for you guys to play in too. Okay? On top of whatever I'm going to be putting there. And the reason for this building is actually have to deal with the target zone. And what that is this. As you guys know, there's a target practice area in the house, in the spawn house. Okay? It's right here. So this is the target practice zone right here. But these targets zone here are not your typical targets. They're just targets. Okay? So what I'm thinking of working on is like a test center for you guys to do your shooting, practice shooting without getting hurt. That's why the blue box is going to be copied and pasted. If it works, then it's going to come. If it works, then I'm going to be putting it in the spawn house, or I could actually leave it there. But the catch is, since you don't have a scoreboard, the good news is you don't have a scoreboard. That means you can go in there at any time. I'm just gonna be putting like a teleporter here for you guys to get to that area. Keep in mind though, but right now, if you go to decide for the next build, since it's gonna be a testing build, if you do decide to go out from this area, what's gonna happen instead is you're gonna go from this building right here, whatever, however it's gonna be, back to the spawn house instead of the battlefield. Okay, so you might be wondering, what are these spawn points for? These are gonna be moved over to another location on the same map. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking of. Now, keep in mind, next build, you guys get to play with in here in a safe spot, and then future builds, whatever I decide to do, then we'll see. So think of this as your like testing center, and then the rest of the map is the actual PvP. Okay, that's all for now. We will see you guys tonight, 5:30, for our Spooky Yuki. We're gonna be starting our scary games. Enjoy, and we'll see you guys very soon.